ABC News exclusive new details about the deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman.
Update now on the investigation into the deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife. There's new evidence. It paints a different picture of the timeline.
Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, lived a quiet life, but their deaths have sparked a whirlwind of mystery. A phone call that shouldn't have happened. A timeline that doesn't add up. And now, a neighbor has come forward with shocking new details. What really happened inside their home? Let's uncover the truth. Number 1. The mysterious phone call. The official reports claim that Betsy Arakawa, Gene Hackman's wife, passed away on February 11th. But what if that wasn't the full story? Dr. Josiah, a physician in Santa Fe, has come forward with a claim that throws the entire timeline into question. According to him, Betsy called his clinic on February 12th. One day after she was officially declared deceased, Dr. Child says Betsy sounded completely normal, even upbeat, as she scheduled a medical appointment for Gene. She didn't seem distressed or in any sort of emergency. But what's even stranger, she never showed up for that appointment. Attempts to reach her in the following days went unanswered. When the news of the couple's deaths broke, Dr. Child realized something didn't add up. If Betsy was already dead when she made that call, who was on the other end of the line? Was this just an administrative mix-up, or does it point to something far more unsettling? And if the official timeline is wrong about her passing, could there be more discrepancies in how and when Gene Hackman himself died? The mysteries don't stop here, because what was found inside their home raises even more questions. Number 2. Discrepancies in time of death. The official reports claim that Betsy Arakawa died on February 11th, followed by Gene Hackman around February 18th. But here's where things get strange. Their bodies weren't discovered until February 26th. And by then, something was eerily off. Authorities stated that both Gene and Betsy's remains were in a state of partial mummification, a process that takes time and suggests they had been deceased for much longer than initially believed. Betsy's cause of death was listed as hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare and deadly disease transmitted by rodent droppings. Gene, on the other hand, reportedly died a week later from cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's as a contributing factor. But if he had been alive for a full week after Betsy's passing, how did he survive on his own? There were no signs that he had attempted to call for help, and the home showed no indication that he had been moving around in those final days. The timeline simply doesn't add up. If Betsy died on February 11th, why did Dr. Josiah receive a call from her on February 12th? And if Gene truly lived a week longer, how did he manage in a home where even their beloved dog, Zinna, didn't survive? Number 3. The estate controversy. Gene Hackman built an $80 million fortune over his legendary career, but what happened to it after his death has sparked serious controversy. His will, last updated in 2005, left everything to his wife, Betsy Arakawa. His 3 children from his previous marriage, completely left out. But with Betsy also deceased, questions are swirling over who will inherit Hackman's massive estate, and it's shaping up to be a legal battle. With no direct beneficiaries left, the inheritance could default to Hackman's children under intestate succession laws. However, some legal experts suggest Betsy's side of the family may try to stake a claim, arguing that since she was the sole heir, her relatives could be entitled to a share. If a legal dispute arises, this could delay the estate settlement for years. Adding to the mystery, there's been no clear explanation as to why Hackman chose to exclude his children from his will. Was it an intentional decision based on personal reasons, or was it simply an outdated document that was never revised? As the legal process unfolds, one thing is certain: Hackman's final wishes may not be as straightforward as they seemed. Number 4. The neighbor's discovery. For years, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa lived a quiet, reclusive life in Santa Fe, rarely seen by neighbors. But on February 26th, their longtime contractor, Jesse Kessler, made a horrifying discovery that shattered that peaceful image. After failing to reach the couple for days, Kessler let himself into the home. What he found was nothing short of disturbing. Betsy's body was in the bathroom, while Gene was found near the mudroom. The home was eerily silent, with no signs of struggle or forced entry. But what struck Kessler the most was how untouched everything seemed. Almost as if time had stopped, their dog Zinna lay lifeless nearby, having succumbed to starvation and dehydration, further proving that no one had been there to care for her. What made this discovery even more unsettling was the state of their remains. Officials noted they were partially mummified, meaning they had been dead far longer than initially believed. So, Why did no one notice their absence sooner? And if Gene had truly survived for a week after Betsy's passing, why wasn't there any evidence of him trying to get help? These questions only deepen the mystery surrounding their final days. Number 5. The dog's tragic fate. Among the many unsettling details of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths, one heartbreaking discovery stood out. Their beloved dog, Zinna, was found dead inside the home. Authorities revealed that Zinna, a small, well-cared-for pet, had succumbed to starvation and dehydration, meaning she had been left without food or water for an extended period. This single detail may be the most telling clue about the timeline of events. If Gene truly lived for a full week after Betsy's passing, how did he allow their dog to die? Even in a weakened state, it's hard to believe he wouldn't have tried to feed her or call for help. Could it be that Gene passed away much sooner than originally thought? Or was he in such a deteriorated condition from his Alzheimer's that he didn't even realize what was happening? The presence of Zinna's lifeless body suggests that no one had been in the house for an extended period, possibly much longer than authorities estimated. As heartbreaking as it is, the fate of their dog may hold key answers to the real timeline of Gene and Betsy's final days, deepening the mystery surrounding their deaths. Number 6. Legal actions to maintain privacy. As speculation surrounding Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths continues to grow, one thing is clear: their estate is fighting hard to keep certain details out of the public eye. Shortly after their bodies were discovered, the Hackman estate took swift legal action to block the release of photographs, videos, and police bodycam footage from the investigation. But why? According to sources, the estate's lawyers argue that making these materials public would be a severe invasion of privacy and cause unnecessary distress to the family. Some legal experts believe they're also trying to prevent sensationalized media coverage, given the bizarre circumstances surrounding the couple's deaths. However, others question whether there's more to the story. If the investigation was as straightforward as officials claim, why go to such extreme lengths to suppress information? This move has only fueled public curiosity. Were there details inside the home that authorities don't want the world to see? Could the condition of the bodies or the scene itself reveal inconsistencies in the official timeline? As the fight for transparency continues, one thing is certain: the more the estate tries to keep things hidden, the more people will question what really happened behind closed doors. Number 7. Friends' insights into their relationship. To the outside world, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa lived a private but peaceful life in Santa Fe. They were rarely in the public eye, having distanced themselves from Hollywood long ago. But those who knew them personally paint a picture of a couple deeply devoted to each other, making their mysterious deaths even more unsettling. Friends and neighbors describe Gene and Betsy as inseparable. Despite his declining health, Betsy was always by Gene's side, ensuring he had everything he needed. They were known for their quiet outings, occasionally dining at local restaurants or taking drives through the scenic New Mexico landscapes. Some even referred to them as the tightest couple, never seeing one without the other. That's why the circumstances surrounding their deaths feel so out of place. If Betsy passed first, would Gene, who relied on her so much, truly have been able to survive alone for days? And if their love was so strong, why weren't there any signs that he attempted to get help? Those close to the couple struggle to make sense of it all. Their passing left behind a lingering question. Was this simply an unfortunate tragedy, or is there more to the story than we've been told? Too many questions remain unanswered. The phone call, the timeline inconsistencies, and the fight to keep details hidden. Something doesn't add up. Was this just a tragic ending, or is there more to the story? The truth may never be fully revealed. But one thing is clear: this mystery isn't going away anytime soon.